Okay, it's a beautiful spring day in the middle of April, and I thought I'd do a little walk around the homestead because I haven't done it in a while and show you what's been going on, what we've done and not done over the winter. More what I've not done, to be honest. This is quite annoying. Kids have repaired this with some different coloured clay, and now from a distance it looks like a bird's pooed on it, but they have done it with the best intentions. We've got the washing out. Nice day like this. Also got the digger out here, trying to sort a septic tank issue. Not having much luck yet, although I've just spoke to an older gentleman who was a friend who has told me that he knew who put them in and he knows what I'm looking for, so I know where I'm digging now, which makes a bit of a difference. And then we're going to have a look in the garden. Stuff has been going on. We have got eldest daughter in the greenhouse. What are you planting?
More beans.
More beans? What beans?
Done the climbing ones. Not gonna do
French beans, yeah.
runner beans.
Runner beans, French beans going in now. We will probably plant some more. We've got lots of peas and stuff going on. We've got broad beans there that need to go out actually, although we had a really bad germination on the one lot, so we planted them again. What else we got in here? Beetroot, which some slugs have eaten this beetroot, but we've got better beetroot. Or is that the only beetroot? No, beetroot down there as well. So we've got lots ready to go out. We've got the perennial kale in pots here, and actually got loads and loads of whitefly. Look at that on that. So that needs to be sorted out. And then in the garden itself, so this greenhouse is still empty. We've not done any winter salads or anything. Have got a hydroponic growing system in the house, which has been really, really good, and I've been loving that, and I think I might get another really easy way to grow salads. And here we've got 6 beds of potatoes in, so we've got first earlies, a couple of beds of first earlies, a couple of beds of second earlies, and a couple of beds of main crops. I'm kind of growing them more for salad potatoes, to be honest with you. It's what I kind of prefer. And then we'll carry on down here. We've got some strawberries and stuff in, which need a bit of weeding and a bit of love, but we're working our way down the garden. This area of the garden I think is going to be unused again. I've already got some bits growing. Sweet Sicily, which I love. I'm just so sweet and nice. This plant was given to me 16 years ago when I was on wood turning. Used to do wood turning every night on a Wednesday. And one of the guys there came with some plants because he's moving house. He says, "Do you want some Sweet Sicily?" And I said yes, actually 20 years ago, because it's before we moved here. And so I planted it at the allotment that we had there, I dug it up, brought it here, and that plant has just sat there for 16 years and done its thing, really. And then the polytunnel, I have cleaned it out once, it needs a good clean out again, ready for the tomatoes and the cucumbers, but we've still been having frosts, so it's something we need to bear in mind. I have been using the polytunnel as a bit of an extra work area, and we can see here, as long as the birds haven't been eating it, I've got a window that I've putted up, ready to go back in tomorrow at a customer's house. And the putty, if I just put my fingers on it, it's just starting to go hard. Sometimes the birds will pull the putty out, so you have to be a little bit careful. Everything kind of likes linseed because it tastes quite nice. So that's going in. So my little work area, nice and warm, lots of nettles. We've got some garlic, which I use as green garlic down there to eat. Let's go have a look at the fruit area. So the orchard's looking gorgeous. Got a nice cherry tree here, but it's on a colt rootstock, and I'm always a bit dubious about colt rootstocks. They grow a bit big. Here this morning, actually, I was just tying up this tayberry across the fence, and I took some cuttings from it as well. We'll see if the cuttings work. I normally layer them, but a bit broke off, and I thought, well, we'll put it in a root trainer and see what happens. This fruited so heavily last year. There's 1 or 2 plants there. Really, really well. I'd like to plant tayberries all the way down there. Absolutely delicious. And then the apples are in blossom, which probably means we'll get some frost. But they've been all right. I think, look at the Scotch Bridget there, looking really good. Got Russet, Discovery. They're all kind of flowering nicely. Looking good, and actually the ones in the main garden I didn't show, but they're looking good as well. Christmas pippin, the winter banana looks like it's just coming out. looking pretty good. We've got the pear tree. Quince is just starting to flower. Flowers on the quince there as well. And down here we've got our new addition. These guys, I'm keeping them in for a few days. They've only been here a few days. You can see, how? Can you see our little duckies down there? Now, bizarrely, they're Grizzlington ducks, meant to be good for eggs and for meat. But those guys, those fat, fluffy guys, are 5 weeks old. So we got them at the weekend. A friend had them from Ducklins and said we could have a few, so we thought we would. But I can't believe how big they are. A little bit like Ross Cobb chickens, I imagine. Grow ridiculously fast. They eat a serious amount as well. When you got 3, we'll see how they go over the summer. Quite looking forward to having some ducks waddling around the place. Quite good fun, really. And back over here, we've got damson trees already flowered, and I think it's set fruit. I don't think the frost got it. Let's have a look, actually. This was my hedge repair from a few years ago, and while there's no weeds and stuff around it, looks pretty nice. And actually next year, if I cut down the top growth, go for loads of bean poles as well. I think that looks all right. That was a big hole in the hedge before, and I planted stuff to fill it in as well. Then coming over into this orchard, that's a apple. That's Beauty of Bath, soft apple. Like I say, never used to like soft apples until I broke my jaw and my front teeth and my ear in like 3 places. Now a soft apple's quite nice. And here we've got a Worcester pear. We've got another pear behind it. And then we've got the smaller pears on the dwarf stocks here, which are looking all right. They seem to flower. I think some have flowered. I hope they've set fruit. We've got a few fruit trees, a few bushes even. Down here, we've got gooseberry. And here we got my plums. I mean, these were so good last year. God, I don't think I've ever eaten more plums in my entire life. Absolutely brilliant. So I'm just hoping there's going to be lots of plums down here as well. I mean, it's a nice little avenue. It's only about 20 trees, but it's surprising what you'll get off it, because they're dwarf trees. And then got the gooseberry hedge, which is coming good. And I reckon this year we're going to have quite a few gooseberries off this. I think there is, got 12 up there. I think there's 20 gooseberry bushes down there, or 20 something. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that does. My little carved man here, split, looking quite nice and aged. And then we've got fruit bushes up here, so you can see how heavy the blackcurrants are and the gooseberries. I was a bit bad at pruning these this year. I didn't do as much as I should have. I think only a few got pruned, which is a shame. But you know, they'll still fruit. We'll still do all right out of them, I've no doubt. We'll go up here to the chickens. Now, the chickens are normally out. They have been my worst garden pest this year, and I'm really struggling to stop them going in the garden. So me and my boys said we're going to clip the wings, which we haven't got around to doing yet. Got a few of the rare breed ones in there, then my hybrids in here. They're still happy, they've still got space, but it's nice when they're out. We need to clip their wings, stop them jumping into the garden and just destroying everything that we plant. The other day they got in the greenhouse, caused absolute chaos. It's quite frustrating. But, you know, the trouble with domesticated animals, they don't want to be near you, but they also want to be near you all the time. And those guys I had to fence off from the workshop and stuff, because every time I left the door open, and this kind of weather, you want the door open, they were in there. And crap everywhere, but also just kind of being annoying. Got my 2 broody coops. None's gone broody yet, actually. But it'd be nice to get some hens in there, hatch some eggs out. Repaired both these pens this year. There's a few bits, always a bit of maintenance need doing on them. Got my barrels there, which I use for the composting toilet. And I've got that running again. Didn't use it last year, so it's nice to have the composting toilet going again. Just me using it. Everyone else has kind of refused. I think my eldest would quite happily use it, but mainly for me. We'll go over to the apiary. Didn't get this hedge laid. Now, it was such a wet winter. but also my business was mad. Normally January, February, kind of dead times for me, making stuff that I sell online, and I normally do other work for other people, a lot of normal carpentry. It just didn't happen. I just ended up making stuff all the time and trying to keep up with orders, which was absolutely brilliant. Managed to move the firewood piles that were here from the branch that fell there. Feeling pretty good about that. It was a nice day actually. My girls were at school, they're at secondary school now, and my boy was on an inset day, so he was with me, and we just spent the whole day doing chores. And at the end of the day, I felt really guilty. I thought, it's been quite a full-on day. We'd done loads of jobs, we pickled eggs, we'd done everything. And he was going to bed and he goes, "Thanks for a lovely day, Dad." And I was like, "Oh, that's all right then." So, doesn't mind a bit of grass. Look at the bluebells down there in my hedge. Look how good this is coming back. Absolutely amazing. What we laid last year. You got the fruit tree in here, the Marabella. So I'm hoping we'll have a few plums off that this year, it'd be really nice. Brambles always coming in. Yeah, having a willow in the hedge is a bit of a nightmare. Keep on top of that over the next few years. I mean, this field, we've had the sheep on there, neighbour's sheep on there not so long ago. And they're gonna roll it for us actually, but should just be wildflower, meadovis kind of summer. That's what I'm hoping for. Yeah, it's looking nice. The kids got a bit of a den down there they quite enjoy playing in. And I have got, this is my next kind of to work at project, this huge pile of firewood here. Just going to come down with the battery chainsaw for half an hour a day and just kind of whittle away at it and bring it back up in the truck while it's dry. Because it'd be nice to have some more firewood seasoned up, but also gets it cleared from the field as well. It's good to have piles of wood for animals and stuff, but that is right in the way there. And then the coppice is looking good. I did go heavy last year and took out loads of the blackthorn that was kind of growing up everywhere, and it's really opened it out and it feels really nice. Only downside with that is there's definitely been some trees girdled by rabbits or deer. I think it's rabbits because I laid some branches down and they're all kind of eating them, so I'm fairly sure it's rabbits. I lay one up there, look, if you can see that, to see what they'd eat. A fresh cut branch, and it's eaten to that height, so it's definitely rabbits. But the tree's still out in blossom. Hopefully they'll survive. I'll have to see. Maybe put some tree guards back on them. Now, the apiary. So this winter, we kind of, when we opened them up, I don't know if anyone's watched the video, we opened up the 3 hives. All 3 were okay. The one, so we've got, hang on, if I go over to here, I'll point at the right ones. Happy to see that though. So the middle one there, that had some dead bees in and a bit of mold, and that was our double brood, and I kind of combined them at the end of last year. They weren't doing amazing. This one here looked all right, and the one on the end was doing incredible. Now, the other day we came out and we saw a swarm of bees on that tree. My middle daughter was like, "We need to get those bees now." So we got all our stuff on, got the bees. We put them in that hive there. Now, there's a bit of a danger with putting them in the same apiary because they've wanted to go. And they came from that hive, the far hive over there. But they're in there, they've been in there 4 days now. And that to me looks like they're happy. They're going in and out, lots. It's whether I feed them now. Obviously got to disturb them a little bit, but put a feeder on top and give them a bit of feed so they can draw all the wax, because they got all fresh frames in there. This one had a lay-in worker. So that is where a queen has died, the worker's taken the role of the job, but all she can lay is drones, and you can see it on the frames. It's just drone cells, nothing else, or 2 eggs sometimes, which is still drone cells. So what we did was we did a shook swarm. So at the same time, so it was all a bit mad, but we took the whole hive over there, we swept them all out, we brushed every bee out, and then we brought the hive back. All the bees fly back, but the laying worker can't because she's too fat and heavy to fly. So she tries to crawl back and she dies. Which means then, so we will hopefully then get a new queen because we put a frame of eggs from that hive into that hive. So hopefully they'll raise a new queen. It's all quite complicated for bees, but I kind of love that. It's the fact that I can't quite always work it out, and you've got to do research. It's really exciting. That end hive though, it's just done so well. So there's 2 supers on that. The one is completely full, nearly completely capped, so just leave it another week to see if they'll cap the whole thing. Don't know if it's the rape honey. If it is, we'll need to get it out. But someone said to me that the rape hasn't got much nectar in it now. They've changed the variety. It's not actually getting much from it, but it's amazing how quickly they've filled that up. And then the willow. This is my biggest disappointment of this winter just gone. It was just so wet. Maybe I've been a bit lazy and just been in the workshop in the dry, listening to my books, working in there instead of doing stuff out here. And I didn't cut year 5. So I've left this another year. So this needs cutting. But obviously not going to cut it now while it's all growing. So there's going to be a gap, but I think it'll be all right. So yeah, need to cut that down. But this hedge is looking awesome, isn't it? I don't think anyone can see this and think it doesn't look awesome. When I planted it, I planted 500 trees and I had 1 die, which I think is pretty good going. But just look at it, absolutely incredible. All taller than me, with my damson tree spaced every 7 meters along it. So I can't wait for this year when this starts fruiting. And I've got loads of blackberries in there as well that I planted, cultivated blackberries in amongst the hedges also. So yeah. But it's hard not to feel inspired when it's kind of spring like this. We have provisionally reserved some pigs as well. So hopefully going to get a couple of weaners this year. Every year I've said to the kids we're going to do it. Never quite get round to it. There's always something else going on. And it's more responsibility, isn't it? I haven't had pigs since I was a kid. We used to have pigs on the farm, a few, only ever a few, 2 pigs or something. And probably when I was really young, not when I was older. So it'd be nice to get them in this pen here. I think I'd quite enjoy that, and I think the kids would as well. So that's the plan going forward into the summer. Lots of jobs to do. Get the garden kind of being productive again. And yeah, a few more animals. But yeah, everything feels good in the spring sunshine, doesn't it? It's been a nice winter, really. It's been good. So yeah, if you ignore the rest of what's going on in the world, life's good. But thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.